All these rich people, all these billionaires, they know something we don't.
This SpongeBob conspiracy theory is so dark, it will change the way you look at SpongeBob forever. Pearl's father is actually the whale we see in the Jailbreak episode in Season 9, but he's actually in there for killing his wife, aka Pearl's mother, after he tried to flee from the scene. Before getting arrested, Mr. Krabs stumbled across the crime scene and the carcass of the mother whale and baby Pearl left all on her own. But here's the disturbing part. When a whale dies, its carcass can fuel an entire ecosystem. And so Mr. Krabs, overcome with excitement and greed, sees this as an opportunity to make a lot of money and comes up with the idea of the Krusty Krab restaurant, adding pieces of Pearl's mother into the Krabby Patty formula as the secret ingredient. But here's where it gets really dark. Mr. Krabs only adopted Pearl as an alternative meat supply in case he runs out and is trying to isolate her from her father and friends. Could this be the reason why he spoils her with so many gifts so that she doesn't end up leaving? Throughout the show, Mr. Krabs always expresses how once his daughter is fully grown, she's going to go off to college, when in actuality what he means is she's getting butchered, cooked, and served up to customers.
Hello, Earth. I'm Alec Baldwin, TV star. You know, they say TV will rot your brain. That's absurd. TV only softens the brain, like a ripe banana, to take it all the way. We've created Hulu. Hulu beams TV directly to your portable computing devices, giving you more of the cerebral gelatinizing shows you want, anytime, anywhere, for free.
I only act out because I want you alone. Dynamite!
Mushy mush. And the best part is there's nothing you can do to stop it. I mean, what are you going to do, turn off your TV and your computer? Once your brains are reduced to a cottage cheese like mush, we'll scoop them out with a melon bowler and gobble them right on up. Oops. I think I'm drooling a little. Because we're aliens. And that's how we roll. Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy. Keep watching.
A show on Netflix known for telling the truth. This episode talks about Flat Earth and Agartha.
You have to leave.
Does this mean that we're not going to the edge of the Earth?
But I wore my best fanny pack.
Okay, sirs, my father tricked you. He does not think that the Earth is flat. He was just using you to get to our boat.
You lied to us? But we were so close, like the North Pole and the South Pole.
Oh, come on. You don't actually think the Earth is flat, right?
Of course I do. Why would you two lie to me? Because that's how they get rich? I find that hard to believe.
Look, if you agree to go, then I'll let you in on a secret. The Earth is not flat, but it is hollow. We put this cap on it to keep krakens from eating people's boats.
Enough! You sphere mongers have been talking down to us flat earthers for years.
Yeah! Harold, YouTube and Joe Rogan are lying for your money and attention. Most conspiracies are just capitalism.
Reagan, I'm going to a land down under.
Harold, wait! Listen, this is not the Earth's edge. This is the portal to the Earth's core. Remember the sea monsters on old maps? They're down there!
Okay, what do I look like, an idiot? Good day, May!
Don't feel bad, darling. He's in a better place now.
Come on, totally. Mole people, they're like 4 feet tall. They'll treat him like he's a king.
Time is an illusion. And the ETs have said it very clearly. They say mankind will never travel in space until it gets out of the concept of time. That's what holds you to Earth. And they said we are probably the only species in the universe has found a way to measure something that does not exist. So leave it to us. But if there is no concept of time, we have invented it because, you know, we go day to day, hour to hour. Our whole lives are built upon it. So it's very hard to get away from the idea that time does not exist. But with the idea of simultaneous time, it means everything that's ever happened in your life, childhood, baby, adults, everything is all happening now. And it's all still there. Now, I know with the hypnosis that we do, we can go back and revisit those childhood times, and I've had people become those children again. But that means it's all happening now, and all of your past lives and all of your future probabilities are all now, which is very hard for us to understand. But somebody gave me a very good example. They said, when you make a phone call and you're in America and you're calling London, 6-hour time difference. Well, when you make the phone call, are you waiting 6 hours for the person to answer you each time you ask the question? No, because when you're talking to them, they're receiving it and answering you at the same time, even though there's 6 hours and a half a world away between us. That's a good idea of simultaneous time. It's all now. Everything is happening now. We realize it when we travel so much, that it's the hours difference, and sometimes it's a whole day difference. We come in on yesterday, and then we're coming in on tomorrow in different countries. We soon realize time doesn't exist. It's a mess anyway. But this is one of the things we have to get used to. There is no such thing as time. Everything is happening now.
Video of the Queen. When the Queen died,
Okay.
there was a hot mic. So there's a mic on that they didn't know was on, and they leaked some information, and there was a conversation going on that wasn't supposed to go on live television.
Damn.
So
What'd she say?
while they were recording it, you can hear the Queen say some really sus shit. Look, not the Queen, sorry.
Okay.
The Queen's like team saying some weird stuff. Listen.
As you can see,
Okay.
The death is irreversible.
If you can't hear it. So this is during the Queen's funeral procession.
Yeah.
She said, this is the exact words, the death is irreversible and the fact she is trapped. And then it just cuts off. Listen.
Yeah.
as you can see.
So what do you think that means?
Death is irreversible. So it was planned?
I think, this is what I think. I think, like I said, what if at a certain time when you reach that level of power, success, or whoever, just importance, something comes into you, or they put spirits, entities, or even different people inside of your body to control. Now, she's saying the death is irreversible, but she's still trapped. Now, this is just my own theory, but what if they mean by like she's still trapped? That spirit, they weren't able to transfer to somebody else yet. So whoever that, entity is, was stuck in the dead body that they can't pass on.
Yeah.
Because why else? What the fuck? Why else would you be talking
The
about?
Queen was mic'd, right?
No, not the Queen. The team. The Queen's team.
The Queen's
yeah.
team. Oh my God.
They say fame comes with a price. But what if Lady Gaga's rise to stardom was built on a hidden tragedy? Before the fame, there was Lina Morgana, a rising star with a voice that could shake the world. Lina and Gaga worked together, writing, dreaming, building something powerful. But in 2008, Lina fell to her death from a hotel roof, under mysterious circumstances. No witnesses, no clear answers. Just silence, and almost overnight, Gaga's career exploded like magic. What's chilling is how Gaga's early style, the fashion, the music, the darkness, mirrored Lina's. It was as if Gaga became Lina. Some believe this wasn't just coincidence. They say Gaga was chosen by elites after a ritualistic sacrifice, blood-soaked performances, symbolic rebirths, her fame drenched in occult symbols, the all-seeing eye, pyramids, veils of death. Lina's mother even said it was like watching her daughter live through Gaga, but not freely, like a trapped soul still screaming underneath. Industry insiders whisper of dark contracts, where creativity is bought with blood, and the more Gaga rose, the deeper the symbolism got. Public deaths, silent nods to secret brotherhoods. Was Lina Morgana the price Gaga had to pay? Or was Gaga herself just another pawn, controlled by forces darker than fame? They hide truth in plain sight because they think you won't notice. But the souls that are stolen, they never stop calling out. Follow if you're ready to see the darkness behind the spotlight.
There's a theory that Timmy Turner's parents actually died, and Wanda and Cosmo are his real parents. That's why Cosmo looks exactly like Timmy.
Yeah, I was gonna say this.
So listen. So the lore goes that he was actually in a car accident with them. So Cosmo and Wanda, right? Yeah. Cosmo, he was the distracted driver, and then Wanda was the one screaming at him and yelling at him. They ended up getting into a car crash.
Yeah.
So they died. Timmy survived, and he was adopted by Timmy's parents in the show. So check this out. So in the show, the beginning of the show is what? Him being depressed. Him on a gloomy day.
Yeah,
he's so depressed, right? Until he thinks about his fairly godparents. And why does his fairly godparents look exactly like him?
Yeah. I swear I told that theory that that Timmy looks exactly like Cosmo before.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't know the lore about it.
That's pretty fun. So it all ties together. Because look. His parents don't really care about him.
And they don't even look like him.
They don't even look like, they look like the Dinkelbergs, fam.
They're never home. They only give Trixie.
Yeah.
The one who
Vicky.
They always tell her just babysit him. Like they don't care about him.
Every day, the world is becoming more godless and demonic. An example of this is Converse rebranding and marketing their entire style by partnering with a guy named Rick Owens. And if you don't know who Rick Owens is, the guy is a complete Satanist. And if you look at the shoe just from a quick glance, it doesn't look like there's anything obvious that they changed. But remember, the devil is in the details. Double Dark Star, that's a very interesting name, but look at this logo right here. This is part of the photo shoot for the advertisement, clearly demonic. Obviously they're trying to market a different look, and now here's the details. Look at that star right there upside down. You can see the star right here, and there it is right there. And I get it, the first response from a lot of people is we're just gonna go ahead and boycott the brand, we're not gonna wear any more Converse. The reality is, my friend, if you look at every single evil that's happening in the world, there's no escaping it. It's in everything. It's in all of our food. It's in all of the branding. It's in all of the governments. The evil is everywhere. So unless you want to move off into the mountains and live completely off the grid, that's one option. But I believe the best option is to pray for discernment so you're aware of what evils are happening in the world. There's no stopping the evils that are overtaking this world. It's not going to happen. And the reason is because Satan rules this world. And the only truth that can truly set us free is through Jesus Christ. The arms of the Father are wide open for all of those who call on Jesus in repentance of their sins, knowing that without God, our world is broken. Without God, we are broken.
They told you Disneyland was the happiest place on Earth, but underneath the surface, something massive is hidden. An entire underground city. Real, not theory. Disney officially calls it utility corridors. But these corridors are advanced way beyond normal roadways, offices, security checkpoints, all hidden from view. Why build a secret city just to move costumes? Because control requires invisibility. Every movement, every sound, every perception is engineered. Disney controls more than what you see. They influence what you feel. It's not entertainment. It's psychological training, built on ancient ritualistic design principles. The layout follows occult architecture. The underground isn't just functional, it's a testing ground for control. And it's been running for decades. Most visitors never even know it exists. You weren't just visiting Disneyland. You were walking through a controlled simulation. Follow if you're ready to see beyond the fantasy.
So we got to talk about this. So Pope Francis dies at the age of 88 from battling with double pneumonia. But hold up, this shit is a little crazy. So let's rewind. The Pope was in the hospital for 38 days on his deathbed. Critical. It was a moment where the doctors was like, he not gonna last, he not gonna make it through the night. Now remember like it was yesterday, every news outlet was talking about Pope Francis maybe passing away that night. But miraculously, he proved them wrong by making it through the next day when people said he wouldn't. They told him he was going to be feeling ill for a little while. They said he probably wasn't going to be able to get up and be mobile for at least 2 months. They wanted him to rest for 2 months, y'all. But guess what? He started feeling better and he discharged. He discharged from the hospital, y'all. So he got back on his grind. He like, y'all can't stop me from God's work. So he was back at work like nothing ever happened. But here's the thing. Right before he passed, he had a meeting with J.D. Vance. It was a so-called private meeting. But they said they were talking about humanitarian stuff. Then boom, y'all, the next day, he's gone. They say he went peacefully. I don't know, y'all. Something don't feel right. Let's go a little deeper. Everything started to change this day. Y'all remember when he opened them holy doors? I made a couple videos on this. He opened those doors and he invited the whole world to walk in with him. But after this, let me know if I'm tripping. This is when everything went downhill, y'all. I believe he opened one of the holy doors that has never been opened. Or hasn't been opened in a while, a long ass time. And then all of a sudden, he started going downhill getting sick. I even heard about the Vatican vault that they got underneath of the holy door. And I was hearing little whispers like he was finna open those documents down below. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. I'm hearing that shit down below is so secretive that even Pope Francis couldn't know about it. Y'all let me know if y'all heard anything about that too. This is what I want to know. If he was still so sick like they said he was, why did they let him discharge from the hospital early? I'm confused. All in all, RIP to Pope Francis, y'all. But something is not adding up.
They told you Disney princesses were about dreams and magic, but what if it was something darker? From the very beginning, young girls were taught to be passive, to wait for someone else to save them. Snow White, sleeping until a prince arrived. Cinderella, abused, powerless, needing rescue. Aurora, cursed, asleep, helpless. Even Ariel gave up her voice just to be loved. It wasn't about empowerment. It was about conditioning. Training generations to be silent, to prioritize beauty over voice, obedience over freedom, submission over sovereignty. And Disney didn't stop there. They dressed captivity as romance. They masked silence as virtue. They glorified suffering as noble, all while branding it as happily ever after. And millions believed it. But look closer. They taught you that endurance is more important than rebellion, that survival is more beautiful than freedom, that sacrifice is more desirable than sovereignty. But real love doesn't demand your silence. Real magic doesn't require your chains. Follow if you're ready to break the spell they cast on you.
Y'all, what the fuck is going on with Cynthia Erivo hands? This video I'm gonna show y'all, she was on stage singing and her hands was twice the size of this. It looked like Shaquille O'Neal hands, but skinny as hell. Her hands was real live on some wicked shit. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Her hands remind me of the shorty that was in the crowd when The Weeknd was doing this little song and she had them long ass fingers. That's what hers remind me of. Look at this shit. Look at her hands, y'all. And it look like it's growing. Am I tripping? I understand she got on nails, but look out how long her fingers is, y'all. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. So y'all just seen what I seen. Her hands is way longer on that video than right here on this picture. And I swear, watch the joint over. Watch this video over. You're going to see her hands. It looked like it was growing, y'all. This shit is crazy, fool. Now all them interviews when she was talking crazy is kind of making sense. She might be...
Okay, this is freaking me out. It is. And a lot of things about the church freak me out. But this is really scary looking to me. This is just my opinion. But it's weird. It just seems weird. Like they're glowing staffs and the hoods. Like, what is going on? It's weird. That's me. I know it's tradition. but it's freaking me out. It's scary.
If you're born in a dragon year, you should not be around dogs. The mere presence of that dog's energy is going to mess with the dragon. You said he was born in 1988, and what did I tell you? If you can trust anything about a person, a dragon born in a dragon year is someone you can trust, because dragons are honorable signs. They always have been, they always will be. Even if dragons are criminals, which I'm not calling you, but I'm saying even if dragons are criminals, they tend to be very honorable criminals. What you have to understand is if you are a dragon, dog energy is very, very negative to you. It's your enemy sign. So if you have a dog around you, doesn't matter if that dog loves you, doesn't matter if that dog's loyal, the mere presence of that dog's energy is gonna mess with the dragon.
What about people?
If it's a person who's born in a dragon year, cooked around dogs.
Damn.
Absolutely cooked. That's not you, so you don't have to worry about it. But when it comes down to it, you always have to understand, if you're born in a dragon year, you should not be around dogs. It is what it is. My advice to you, don't be around dogs.
So you guys know how the Pope just opened the holy door, which is allegorical to opening a portal. You see, I noticed a few things, and I want to know if you guys caught this. Let's check this out. Now, to me, it looks like the Pope just got in the chair right before they opened the door. But that's just me. You know Shakespeare's most famous quote, that the world is a stage. But second off, why does the Pope look scared? Why does he look afraid? Aren't you the vigor of Christ? Does the story of Jesus sound like a man that walked around with fear? No, he moved with confidence, knowing that he is connected to God. Why does the Pope look like he's stressing? Look at that. So as I'm paying attention and listening, I hear bells, y'all. Bells. Remember my bell video? They removed all the bells in the world. Why does the Vatican have bells? Remember, bells are used to ward off negative energies, negative frequencies. So why does the Vatican need to keep away negative energies if you're directly connected to God? The other thing I heard was some yelling or some crying right before he is wheeled into the building. I want you to listen for the bells and for the yelling and or crying. Let me know, y'all. And when the guys come in to push him in, he looks even more stressed. Look at his face, y'all. Look at his face. He looks even more stressed going into that building. Like, how long has it been since he's been in there? The Pope looked like he was sent on a mission and he doesn't even know what he's getting himself into. Isn't that what he looked like to y'all? Am I tripping? And I believe there's another portal he's supposed to open up in January, y'all. I can't wait to see his face on that one. So what do you guys think about this video? Please let us know down in the comments below. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get this shift. Peace out.
3 things in Japan that just make sense. First, at some airports in Japan, you'll see sushi plates going around on the luggage carousel. It's not real sushi or someone's suitcase. It's just a clever little display to let passengers know the belt has completed a full loop. Next, when workers are cleaning the windows of tall buildings, there's always someone stationed on the ground with an umbrella, not for themselves, but to shield pedestrians from water dripping down. Next, Japan has these strange but amazing heated ear stickers designed to relieve stress. You just stick one behind your ear and it gently warms up. Japan has a unique ice cream making machine called bingsu. It can transform various flavors into a delightful dessert. Simply add milk or a flavored mixture on top of the roller, and it quickly produces soft, snow-like ice cream known as bingsu. Next in Japan, you don't need to close the lid of the jam. Just buy these self-closing mango jam, and it will close itself automatically when you put the cap on top. And lastly, airports in Japan have these robots that make your experience seamless. By just scanning your boarding pass, you select the gate, drop your bag, and it guides you without having to stress.
Nice.
3 reasons why Japan is living in 2050. First, Japan has these amazing floating trains that actually hang from above and glide through the air. When you're inside, it feels like you're flying, just like in an airplane. You can look down and see the streets, cars, and even the rooftops of houses as you pass by. It's a totally unique and futuristic way to travel. Next, in Japan, you'll find these unique phone cleaning feature. You just slide your phone into the slot, and while you wash your hands, it uses UV UV light to kill germs and bacteria on your phone. Super convenient and hygienic. And lastly, cinema in Japan offers these clever snack trays that attach directly to your seat. They securely hold your drinks and other snacks, acting like a mini table, and you can swivel or fold them when someone needs to pass by, making your movie experience both comfortable and convenient.
Darkest truth hidden from us.
All these rich people, all these billionaires, they know something. We don't. You guys ever heard of Gordon Michael Stallion? No one talks about him, but listen, this guy, people called him a prophet. He had visions, real visions of how the world would change. And he made a map, a doomsday map. Doomsday as in California underwater, Florida flooded, and right through the middle of the US, a massive, huge river splitting the country in two. Crazy is what they want you to think. But look where the billionaires are buying land. Bill Gates owns most of the farmland in America now. And guess where high ground safe zones are? A lot of them are moving to Texas too. And look at the map. Texas is untouched dry. It's all planned. They're getting ready. I'm telling you, they know they're not guessing, not gambling. They have the blueprint for what's coming.
Have you seen this video?
Y'all, the story of Jesus getting betrayed just got a little more interesting. I honestly thought I knew all there was to know about this story, but come to find out, there's something I've been missing this whole time. So whoever has ears, please listen to this. So in Matthew chapter 26, the plot to kill Jesus has officially started. Now knowing this, Judas, who was one of Jesus' 12 disciples, went to the chief priests and asked him, "What are you willing to give me if I deliver Jesus to you?" Now watch this. The Bible says they answered him by counting out 30 pieces of silver. During this time, that was equivalent to 1 slave. Now don't miss this, because in theory, what Judas was doing here was selling his salvation. So that means when he looked at the Lord, he didn't see a savior, he saw a slave. And you probably oohing and eyeing right now, but Judas ain't alone, because at some point you viewed him the same way. It's the lifestyle of, God, what can you do for me? It's when you think God was created to serve you, not realizing you were created to serve God. Now pay attention to this word. The text says, and from then on, he watched for an opportunity to hand him over. Why should that excite you? Because if you remember, when the devil had finished tempting Jesus in the wilderness, it says he left until an opportune time. And in Matthew 26, it tells us that Satan entered Judas. So what does that mean? That means if the devil can't get to you himself, he gonna always find somebody that can. That's why you gotta be careful who you surround yourself with. Because the devil won't always show up looking like the devil. Sometimes the devil will show up looking like a disciple. And sometimes the person you least expect to hurt you may be the reason you experience the most pain. Now this is where it gets a little interesting, because the Bible says Judas established a signal with the army that was following him. He said, "The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him." Now I'm not the smartest man in the world. Ain't never claimed to be. But I do have a question, because if these people claim to want Jesus so bad, why didn't they take the time to get to know him for themselves? Wouldn't that make sense since they the ones who said they wanted him? Absolutely. But let me show you where you are in this story, because you've done the same thing. These people that we so quick to judge can actually represent us. It shows us how we rely on someone else's relationship with God to bring us closer to him. Let me make it plain. They were relying on Judas to give them the word because they were unwilling to get to know the word for themselves. It's what one would call a vampire Christian. You want the blood of Jesus, but at the same time, you want to continue to live in darkness. It's showing us what being a part-time follower actually looks like. At this time, Peter, James, and John were in the garden because they rocked with Jesus. But the only reason Judas was seeking the Lord was because it was something in it for him. I wish I had more time, but I'm gonna leave you with this. Before you go talking about Judas and how he betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, you need to remind yourself that you do it all the time for free.